Hello everyone, my name is Ripley and today we're continuing on the Resident Evil 2 build series that we're doing. Of course we're doing the police station if this is your first video from the remake, of course. Before the main haul I followed a lot of item hunt videos just like I did with the exterior. And the main haul actually took me 3 hours to complete, which is crazy because I normally build like an entire house with exterior and interior landscaping, all the stuff in less than 3 hours. But the main haul itself took me 3 hours to complete, which I think is a lot because I was watching like item hunt videos while I was building, so it took a lot more of my time. Maybe in the future I should just like watch those videos, take some screenshots, and then jump in the game. I think that might be a lot quicker. But like I said, 3 hours. And I think also when we are going through and building this build, you are probably gonna tell that I kind of follow the characters around because we are building this in a little bit of a different way than I normally would build. Like for example, we don't really have any flooring or wallpaper right now, and the flooring and wallpaper does change a lot during the video. And of course, with like following these item hunt videos, I do see a lot of different angles, so sometimes if I miss something, I'll see it later on and then I go in and add it. I think there is a lot of more back and forth than I would normally do in a video. And for the reception here, at first I did put down these counters, because from the angle that I was looking at, I thought that there were counters here. But then later on, I did see that no, they shouldn't be there, so I removed them eventually. And before this backspace, I actually really enjoyed decorating this area. Before the item box, we don't really have an item box in The Sims that looks like the one in Resident Evil. So at first I thought, well, maybe we should use like a toy box, because we have one in, I think it's Parenthood or like the kid room stuff pack, where we have like this toy chest that kind of reminds me of the item box. But in the end, I ended up going for this like storage box from Dream Home Decorator. I think that the color was most right. And we also put in some typewriters in the police station, because in Resident Evil, of course, you save on the typewriters. And luckily, we did get a typewriter computer with Cottage Living, which was really nice. However, I don't think that that typewriter is functional, because something that's really annoying with The Sims is that computers can only go on desks or like a dining table, but nothing else. So what I ended up doing, and what I see a lot of other people do as well, is I put the computer on a desk and then I sized down the desk as much as I possibly could. And in doing that, you can kind of move around the computer more freely. So that is what I did with the typewriter as well as with this laptop that is on this desk. However, I don't think they're usable. Like I think that the computers, well, I think if you do put a chair to the desk that is like that you have the computer on, like the little one, I think that the computers work. But just like this in like this kind of like free place thing, like free placing them, I don't think that you can use them. Like your Sims will normally need to have a chair to use your computer anyway, and I think that you need to have a chair at that desk. But it's mostly for looks, right? And now I did remove those counters and just doing this little like desk area up front, which I actually really liked. I used a lot of Stranger Will and Get to Work. Of course, Get to Work has a lot of police stuff, and Stranger Will has a lot of like files and archives and paperwork and that kind of like mystery stuff. Like Stranger Will is all about the like the mother plant and that kind of like Stranger Will mystery, and it has a lot of useful stuff. Something else that was surprisingly useful as well was Get Famous. I didn't think that pack, well, honestly I don't think that pack has ever been super useful, but in this case, which it was really useful, I used it a lot for like the wallpaper and the flooring, which I think is kind of funny because of course Resident Evil is like this zombie epidemic pulled out at this police station kind of game. And Get Famous is very much not that, so I just thought it was kind of funny that that pack really helped me with this build. But then you will see a lot of things changing. The flooring will change, the wallpaper I'm like slowly adding it as we're like walking around the police station. The stairs was also changed, they're quite white right now, which they are in the front. Like when you come down at first, it's like white and blue stash, which it should be, but then later on I ended up changing the other stash for like a darker star. And then we're starting to work on this area, which I also thought was really fun. I had a little bit of problem at first with the scaling, just kind of making everything fit without it feeling too crammed, but overall I think that I did a pretty good scaling of the main hall, which I did work a long time on the scaling, so I'm glad that it worked out, but everything fits nice and it doesn't feel too crammed and nothing had to be left out, which was really nice, so I'm really happy with that. Also working on when this statue is, we have this like woman statue up here, and then upstairs we have a lion statue, which is also a little bit trickier to do because we don't really have any lion stuff in The Sims, which I was quite like surprised about. We don't have like a lion statue or anything, so I used this, I think it's a dog, so I sized up a dog statue that I sized up, which was the most close to the Resident Evil one, I guess. It's not close, but it's kind of the same idea. And then behind this little like seating area we have a lot more beds, which here it's really where I struggle with like trying to cram everything in, but I think that in the end it ended up fitting quite nicely. We do have this like IV drops from Get to Work, which was really handy because we do have them in the Resident Evil as well, and they require similar. And then we also have this like yellow, like I think it's like a hamper or something with some pillows and clothes and stuff, which I'm actually happy with that they actually end up looking really close, and overall I'm actually quite happy with the main hall, even though it's not the exact same. It's never gonna be the exact same. I'm overall quite happy with how this area turned out. Something though that I do want to mention is my game. I don't know if it is because I have like an outdated mod, because the game did update right before I built this, or if it's like something in the game, but the game didn't like this build at all. It kinda ended up being quite glitchy. I think you can see it when I work on the second floor, as well as in the tour. It's kinda glitchy and the tour is not amazing, but I still kinda wanted to keep it in. So I don't know what that is, but I hope that I can be able to finish this build, because that's my main worry, that I won't be able to finish this build, that the game is gonna be like, no, we're not gonna do this, just leave this build out. I really want to finish it, but this build is already like 300k, which is crazy as well, because I've only done the exterior and the main hall, and it's already like 300k. I don't understand where all the money went. Like, although it's a big build, like it's on the biggest lot, it does take up the entire lot, I still don't see how it already costs like 300k, because the outside I think was about 200k when I finished it, which means that I added another like 100k on the main hall, which I don't understand what it is that costs so much money. Like, I guess that the Get Famous stuff is quite expensive, and I think that the flooring might be expensive and the walls, but still, I mean, 100k for this? I don't know. I don't understand where all the money is. But also with this build kind of being a little bit of a struggle, I wouldn't recommend you downloading this build if you have like a laptop or like a computer that can't handle it. Like my computer can, I think it's pretty middle of the line, and it's I mean it's good, and I think that if you have like a mid-tier computer then it would be fine, but the item count might be a trouble, which I also think is gonna be a trouble in the future, because we're gonna have a lot more items in this build, and I'm just gonna worry about the Sims, well, A, not being able to handle it, and 2, not wanting to upload it to the gallery because I have too many different items. I think it's like something like you can't have more than 250 singular items, like 250 items of like different stuff, if that makes any sense. Like you can have like 100 tables if you want, but you can have 100 different stuff. Like the game is kind of like if you overpass like 250 different stuff, then you can't upload it. So I don't know, we'll see how the game will like it in the end. Hopefully I will be able to finish it. Also, I did build this for my sister. She does have, and I would say that she does have access to my account, which she does, but she won't have access to the build if I don't upload it. I think it will be fine. It will be fine. It's no problems. Upstairs on the second floor where we are now, in Resident Evil we have this like walls or arches where you like walk on the sides, and we don't really have anything like that in The Sims. I tried to do something with like columns because that is what it is. Resident Evil is like columns that go together in like a rounded like arch, which we can't do in The Sims. So I ended up finding these vampire arches, which I think looks really nice. I don't know how many arches there are supposed to be. Also in The Sims, like doing the right amount of arches I think will be really difficult anyways, but I think that overall this is probably the best we're gonna get, and actually I really think it looks quite cool. With that said, we are about to jump into the tour, so I hope you enjoyed this video. There is a playlist linked in the description, as well as in the end of the video there will be a playlist of all the other videos on this build. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all very soon. Ripley out.